Starting off this list at number 10 with a car commercial. Did you guys read the title before clicking on this video? Well, these are the top 10 scariest videos on the internet that you shouldn't watch alone, so hopefully you're with someone because things are about to go down. Let's dive right into this list with an innocent car commercial. Enjoy. Okay, I'm sorry to do that to you guys, but I did warn you. And also rest in peace to you guys who are wearing headphones, or especially those earbuds. It was loud. I really hope you weren't watching that in class because you probably freaked out your teacher.
Next up at number 9 now we have 11BX1371. That's the name of this very bizarre video that spread online in early 2015. Here's a segment from it. The black and white part is 2 minutes in length. It features a person wearing a plague doctor costume in a rundown building in a forest. They hold up a hand with an irregular blinking light. One of the most noticeable things about this video is the continuous buzzing sound that can be heard in the background. Some reported that it sounded like someone was repeatedly saying, "I would love to kill you." One Reddit user created a spectrogram of the sound and found both text and images concealed within it. One part simply said, "You are already dead." The images depicted women being mutilated and tortured, leading people to think that this was actually the work of a serial killer. These fears seem to be confirmed when later research found still images from the horror film The Bunny Game, another one from the German film Slasher, and also a picture of a victim of the Boston Strangler. In the years since its discovery, people have continued to try and decode the video and discover its meaning. If you look this one up for yourself, you can find much more about it. Some of it is too dark to even mention in this video. And that's me saying that. Moving on to number 8 now, we have Rubber Johnny. This video was originally uploaded in 2005 and began circulating in emails before appearing on YouTube. The video claims to document Johnny, a 16-year-old inbred mutant who has been locked up in a pitch black basement by his ashamed parents. Other than Johnny, the only living thing we see in the basement is his dog. The video shows Johnny descending into a kind of madness. It eventually morphs into this creepy drum and bass video that seems to get weirder with every second. Next up at number 7 now, we have Daisy Unwinds. This is a very disturbing video uploaded to YouTube in 2015. It's actually part of a series of videos, all with the name Daisy in their title. The videos were removed from YouTube, but some people had already downloaded a few to upload later, and this is one of them. In this video, we see a body bag laying in a bathtub. A masked man feeds the body bag with a spoon from a bowl. Backwards music plays as well. At 41 seconds in, the man starts banging his head. A split second later, we see a message on the screen. Redditors piece together the words to find that it's part of a poem about death. The video has raised more questions than answers. What does it all mean? Who exactly uploaded it? And perhaps most disturbingly, is that body bag real? Moving on to number 6 now, we have Sad Satan. This is a video from 2015 that appears to show a game from the deep web known as Sad Satan. The uploader claims to have found it on a deep web forum. The file was signed only with the initials ZK. The file showed no signs of malware, and so the uploader played it. This is the recording that he took of the game. Pretty eerie. Most of the game features the player just walking down these dark hallways with sort of creepy psychedelic sounds being played, accompanied with the player's footsteps. This pattern seems to go on for a long time, interrupted only by strange black and white photos towards the end of the video. The audio also starts to include a loud rumble with what sounds like voices slowed down. Further on, we see that the maze is full of childlike creatures. Occasionally a white screen will flash up with a message written in wingdings. A Reddit user translated them to find messages such as, "I can track you, kill, kill and kill again, you are on my list, hail 666 and sad people died." The uploader eventually deleted the whole game off his computer, leaving the internet still trying to decipher its dark messages. Next up at number 5 now, we have Dining Room or There Is Nothing. This video has been around almost as long as YouTube itself has existed. It was uploaded in 2006 and has been freaking people out ever since then. The woman stares at the camera with a blank face and utters some gibberish words. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, she drops her face right into her own bowl. Later on in the video, she lifts her head up up and says to the camera, "There is nothing." This video is scary enough by itself, but then people realized a few things about it. The second half of the video is an exact mirror of the first, only in reverse. It's supposed to be played on a loop, going round and round for infinity. They say this video tells a story of our desire to know what happens after death. When the woman in the video falls into her bowl, she dies. She returns to utter the words, "There is nothing," as in, there is nothing after death. No heaven, no hell, no afterlife. Life and death are just an endless cycle, just like the video itself.
There is nothing.
Moving on to number 4 now, we have 16. That's the title of this unlisted video on YouTube, which has been viewed over 8,000 times. It's very disturbing, but in a way, you can't quite put your finger on why. It's from the perspective of a person watching people on a swing. A fuzzy wind sound blows in the background, along with a single monotone noise. The people in the video don't seem to be aware that they are being filmed. They walk over to some other people in the park, and then the image freezes. A strange motif sounds while this happens. At 16 seconds, a single frame shows the words, "You've met." The video then resumes for a few more seconds before ending at the 25-second mark. In the 7 years since it's been uploaded, many people have tried to discern who uploaded this, why they did it, and what that message of "you've met" really means. Honestly, part of me doesn't even want to know. Moving on to number 3 now, we have I Feel Fantastic. This is a piece of absolute nightmare fuel that I have talked about before on this channel. It was first uploaded in 2009 by Creepyblog, a channel which has not uploaded a single video since. It features a mannequin-like character known as Tara the Android, who sings a song through a voice simulator. The result is haunting, transfixing, and repulsive all at the same time. Tara the Android remains motionless throughout, but is seen in a number of different positions. One of the only big changes in shots comes when the camera snaps to an outdoor location that looks like the edge of some woods. One of the song's lyrics includes the words, "Run, run, run, run." Now, naturally, people felt there was more to this video than meets the eye. Some people believe that the creator is a murderer who killed a woman named Tara and dressed up that doll in her clothes. They say the outdoor shot is of where she was buried. This theory was strengthened when people found that the description is a cryptic reference to the Greek legend of Pygmalion. He was a sculptor that created a statue of a woman for himself because he felt that all women were tainted. Perhaps the person who made this video felt that the real Tara didn't live up to his expectations, and this doll is the first step towards bringing her back to life. Moving on to number 2 now, we have Transfiguration. This is a bizarre video posted to YouTube in 2008 by Oliver de Sagazan. It starts off fairly tame. Oliver is seen muttering some words. He then begins to cover himself in layers of material. The painting and sculpting continues for 9 minutes and begins to look more and more horrific with each layer. Oliver himself seems to be losing his mind. Some people believe there is a hidden message along the way in this video. What is this half human, half beast creature we see being created before us? What does it mean at the end when his mental state seems to crash and crumble with every swing of his head? Perhaps that's for you to decipher. And finally, number 1 now, we have Streetwalking. That's the name of this video, uploaded by Shay St. John. Now, if you've been around on YouTube for as long as I have, you may recognize that name. The surreal videos fascinated the original YouTube community back in 2006 and 2007. For many though, they are very creepy. Streetwalking is a notoriously weird video. Just take a look.
She is totally obsessed. She is totally obsessed. She's buying her stairway to heaven.
Shay St. John has remained burned into the memories of everyone who watched this the first time round and all the other videos. The character always wears a series of wigs and dresses and has wooden hands on sticks. It's thought the character lost her arms and legs in a horrific car accident. Now, some die-hard members of the community are convinced that this Shay St. John was actually more real than people know, and the videos like this contain clues as to what dark events really went on. Well,
Coming number 10, we have the Croatian tape. The thing about found footage is it can easily be staged. There's no way of telling if what you're looking at is made by someone with the intention of freaking you out, or if it was actually the last moments of someone's life caught in a disturbing video. Well, that is what we have on our first point. The Croatian tape is said to be recorded in 2005, and no one has any idea of when it worked its way onto the internet. In the tape, there are two young boys who are just walking about late at night, and then they're approached by some strange man. There's a couple things that seem off about this dude. For one, he's stumbling around like he's drunk or disoriented, and two, he has some sort of canvas bag on his head like he's Jason from the first Friday the 13th movie. First, this guy seems harmless. It seems like maybe he's lost, but then he starts to get aggressive and chase after the boys. They outrun him and make it back to their apartment building, and right when they think that they're safe, they see this in the elevator. Now, this could have all been staged. I mean, how on earth did this baghead guy make it back to the elevator? But they might have been messing around with something supernatural that tracked them down.
Moving on, in at number 9 with Little Baby's Ice Cream. After watching this creepy video, you're probably gonna feel really uncomfortable, and you're probably gonna want to cry as well. You're gonna just have mixed emotions. So let's take a look at this.
I eat Little Baby's ice cream. It keeps me young. It keeps me light on my feet. I spring from activity to activity. I love my job. I love my life.
What the hell did we just watch? I don't know if I should be laughing or if I should be screaming or possibly crying. And did you guys notice that he didn't even blink once? Is he even human? Okay, honestly, this video makes my worst nightmares look pleasant. All I have to say is that I'm never going to eat Little Baby's ice cream, and I hope that I never have to watch that video ever again. Moving into number 8 with the Meat Sleep videos. There's a really strange and creepy YouTube channel called Meat Sleeps, and they used to upload bizarre videos that make us all wonder whether these videos were actually clips shot by a murderer, kidnapper, cannibal, or maybe ABC, all of the above. I still don't know what to think, but I'll let you guys be the judge.
I let you be like a person. You live here. You are ungrateful. You live.
Well, luckily for us, the creator deleted all of his disturbing videos, but he uploaded one last video called No More. In this video, it tells us his channel was operated by several people across multiple locations. This kind of makes me feel even more afraid. What if one of the uploaders lives in my area? Coming in number 7, we have a coffin buried in a backyard. A man thought it would be a great idea to bury his dead great-grandmother in his backyard, and that's because he gets pleasure out of digging up her grave and opening her casket. I'm only going to show you guys that small clip because the rest of the video is highly disturbing and we don't do that for you guys. And to be honest, it's really hard to watch. At the end of the video, he kisses her all over her face and he seems to enjoy it just a little bit too much. What about letting her rest in peace? You ever heard that term, buddy? Number 6, we have a short horror film called Lights Out. This creepy short film can be found on YouTube, but trust me, if you're going to watch this film, you should be watching it in broad daylight, and also know that you might have the possibility of not falling asleep tonight or ever. Okay, seriously, how many times do you have to flicker the lights on and off? If I saw a scary looking demon lurking in my halls, I would run out of there faster than Usain Bolt, and you better believe it. Okay, that face will haunt me forever. I Feel Fantastic takes us to number 5. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely do not feel fantastic. Actually, I feel like my soul is being violated or something. This robot mannequin is just so creepy. It looks like this person bought a Taylor Swift mannequin off the dark web. Someone needs to break this thing apart, burn it, and then bury the ashes in 10 separate locations. Who else thinks that they're going to have a tough time sleeping tonight? I don't feel fantastic about this whole video being 2 minutes and 31 seconds. It makes me feel uneasy, so let's move on. Real demons caught on tape brings us to number 4. Is this what happens when someone tries to give you a high five but you leave them hanging? Well, I for sure will never leave someone hanging ever again. Or it's like when you open up a snack at school and all the other kids want some. Even though this video is clearly fake and they use special effects, well, I'm pretty sure, it's still really terrifying. The person who edited this actually did a really amazing job, but I'm pretty scared. Especially after watching the last couple of seconds of this video. I warned you guys, I literally jumped out of my chair when I first watched this clip. It was pretty embarrassing. A real life psychopath brings us to number 3. I don't think this next video needs a lot of explaining. Just prepare yourselves because this next video is super creepy.
Hey everybody, Beetle Fox here. You're probably wondering what I'm doing.
Okay, no, I'm definitely not wondering what you're doing. I'm actually trying to forget that this video even exists. But I know you guys are curious, so let's listen.
I'm cutting off my daughter's legs. It's a long story. I've joined a very special community on the internet, known on the deep web and the other hacker sites, where all the cyber bullies hang out, as the fur fag community, but I prefer to call it the Indian spirit community.
All I can say is what the actual This guy actually definitely kidnapped some real people. I think the police needs to search his house because I'm sure that they're gonna find bodies in his crawl space and they're gonna be buried in his backyard. I can't even finish watching the entire clip because he gives me the creeps. Bobby, yeah, climbs up this list at number 2. All I'm saying is Bobby, no. Not yeah. I think I can confidently say that after watching this video, you'll never be the same. I don't even know how to describe this video. All I know is that I'm not okay. This is some pretty disturbing stuff. I think this video belongs to the dark side of YouTube, and I'm sorry that I even uncovered it for you guys. I know some of you guys are enjoying it, and I just want to crawl into my bed right now and hide underneath the covers and just forget that that video even exists. All I can say to the person that created that video is thanks for all the freaking nightmares I'm gonna have tonight. Things get even scarier in at number 1 with Robert HELPMANN. Before I show you guys a clip, let me give you guys a backstory. These disturbing videos are of a serial killer who enjoyed doing things to dead corpses, like feeding them ice cream and moving them around the house. Sounds creepy, right? Well, I feel like we don't even need to see a clip, but you know what? Here we go. In all of his videos, you see a bagged corpse named Daisy who appears to be dead, but she's not alone. In some parts of the video, we see a masked serial killer who seems totally insane. People are saying that these video clips are fake, but what if a serial killer is real? What if he just has a house full of bagged up corpses and he enjoys posting them onto YouTube? I kind of want to do some more investigating, but I don't want to be the next victim either.
Starting off at number 10 now, we have Punishment. This is a very strange video uploaded in 2017. It's unlisted, meaning it can't be found by searching for it. You already have to have the link to even see it. The title and the description are a jumble of letters and numbers, and the video itself sounds like this. That's creepy on its own, and then it gets even weirder. Some Reddit users realized that the title and the description were actually written in a rotation code. That means that all the letters have been kind of pushed along the alphabet in the same amount. In this case, the number was 8. They then reversed this and found the true message. It reads, "The sacrifice of Henrietta and Igor. Red, repressed the memories of trauma with drugs. Blue, militaristic training and decimation of the Ming. Green, denial of events and atrocities committed against them. Yellow, personas compartmentalized. Pink, core personality entirely destroyed."
Blue, your trigger is Spider-Man.
The title was also translated to punishment. Also, during the video, there is a code that appears on the screen which translates to Spider-Man and Elsa are your friends. Now this has led many to think that the video is some sort of subliminal message linked to the whole Spider-Man and Elsa conspiracy on YouTube. That's honestly a topic for a whole other video. We don't have time today, but you guys should go and research it if you're interested in this so far.
Coming in at number 9, we have the Paris catacombs footage. If someone invites you to come down into some catacombs for exploring, just say no. That's not a fun place to be, especially when you're in Paris. Why would you spend your time walking around with a bunch of old bones when you could be eating croissants until you need a forklift to sit upright? Well, in Paris, someone thought it would be a good idea to take a break from gorging on baguettes to look at some rotting bones. This is some of the most terrifying found footage I have ever seen. You have a POV shot of someone walking through this tunnel system. For the most part, everything seems normal, but then they start to panic. I don't know if it's the strange markings all over the walls that starts to freak him out, or maybe he got lost, or maybe he heard something, but it doesn't matter because he just starts running. As he's running, you can tell that he has no idea where he's going, and eventually he drops his camera and makes off into the darkness. Let's take a look at this man's panic.
Are pictures of bones.
The video shows the man exploring, but he soon begins to panic. He runs through the maze of tunnels and his breathing gets heavy. As he is running, you can hear and tell the man is freaking out.
Now we have no idea why this guy started to panic or what happened to him after. The catacombs are like a maze that go on for miles in every direction, so there's a good chance that he got lost down there and was never seen again, or that whatever he was running away from caught up with him. Coming in at number 8, we have a doorbell cam. There is nothing better than looking through some videos from your doorbell only to find a creeper walking close to your house. What could be worse than that? Well, what about a dude caught in the act of creeping around your house? I'm about to show you a man who was caught wandering around someone's home and then they came right up to their door and did this.
He proceeds to knock and ring the doorbell.
The owner of this home woke up to a notification coming from their phone that someone was at their door. You know, sometimes I think it's weird that our lives are becoming so automated, but when you see something like this, you would be happy to have a camera on the front of your door. This person kept trying to work their way into the home in one of the strangest attempts I have ever seen. He rings the doorbell and then tries to break in afterwards. The man is probably deranged and had no idea what was going on. Coming in at number 7, we have the mysterious noise. Now, even when found footage doesn't have something that is explicitly creepy about it, like a dude with a bag on his head chasing you down the street, there can be something strange and creepy to it that just leaves a weird feeling in your stomach. That's how people feel about the Paraguayan camcorder footage. It would seem to be some sort of strange home video that has several different scenes spliced together. It follows a group of teens and all the footage is extremely grainy, which makes sense because the footage is apparently from the 90s. But then there comes this noise. You can hear that strange humming in the background. Now, while this is probably some static that was picked up because the recording is on a very old device, some other people think that this could be a curse of sorts. That if you listen to the full tape, it will bring a dark energy into your life as if you were watching the tape from The Ring. Coming in number 6, we have the South Korean ferry incident. Back in 2014, a ferry in South Korea would take on way too many cars and passengers. Now, even though the vessel should have been able to handle this many people on board, the waves were rough that day and the ship ended up tipping on its side. This is some of the footage from inside the ship.
수연아, 마지막 진짜 팔기 보소. 나도. 우리 이렇게 바다로 헤엄쳐서 이렇게 될 거야. 수연아, 자, 왜 네가 들고 있어? 나 이제 토할 것 같거든.
This entire video is about 20 minutes long, and throughout most of it, no one really seems to think that they're in any danger. They are convinced that the people around them will all be saved when their rescue comes. Unfortunately, they were wrong, and many people that day were not saved. Coming in at number 5, we have the skeleton at the door. Having a doorbell camera might bring in more stress into your life than you would think. Let me show you this footage, and then you can see how stressful it would be to see something like this happen at the front of your house.
With a piece of tape. The homeowner got an alert that motion was detected on the porch, and upon checking the footage was ready to grab his gun. It's not known what was done while the tape was covering the camera.
You see a creepy skeleton come out of the darkness and then cover up the camera to your door. Now apparently this didn't lead to anything. It was probably just some kids goofing around, but some kids goofing around can make you feel like your home is about to get broken into by the undead. Coming in at number 4, we have a towering flame. This is one of the most famous cases of found footage in the 90s. When you hear the start of this, you will literally think it's a plot for a B movie, but this is really what happened. It was in California, and on the side of the road there was some old cassettes that were found. On these tapes was a recording of a massive blaze. It was a house that had been set on fire. Here's some of the footage from that tape.
Asexual turn-ons.
That is just a taste of the whole thing. The rest of the footage goes on for about 4 minutes. You can hear people laughing, and you can only assume that those were the people who lit the fire. For a while, this was just a tall tale and some creepy footage, but eventually the tape made it onto Unsolved Mysteries, and through this, the people were able to track down the culprits. It turned out to be 2 teenagers who were both arrested and tried for their crimes. Coming in at number 3, we have an oncoming train. This footage is some of the most infuriating and depressing footage on this list. It comes from a movie shoot in 2014 when a crew was filming a movie about Greg Almond. They were on a train bridge and they thought that they had all day to shoot, but there was something that the director didn't tell them. The director had contacted the city to get permission to shoot on the bridge, but they were denied the right to shoot twice. Then the crew had to rush off the bridge while the train was barreling towards them. Unfortunately, not everyone was able to make it out of the way of the train safely. When everything was said and done, the production company was sued and had to pay out over $3 million, and the director was thrown in prison for manslaughter. Coming in at number 2, we have No Through Road. There have been a lot of theories about No Through Road. On the footage, there are 4 English teens driving around late at night until they get lost. Eventually, they get to a dead end and try to work their way back, and their car stalls. Then they are confronted by this.
Jay, just give me the... What are you doing? Turn it back on.
It's not me. I can't.
Turn the bloody lights on.
Now that seems pretty terrifying. What on earth do you think that thing is? It looks like it could have just been a regular man, but the rest of the footage is too gruesome for me to show you here. It cuts some of the previous footage on the camera in between these young men being attacked by this strange figure. Now, when you watch it, I would guess that this is a very well put together project from a few teens who wanted to make a short horror movie. But when you dig deeper into the story, the rumors say that the car was found with blood all over it, and there was only the tape left in the car. And coming in the number 1 spot, we have the Stephen McDaniels footage. This is by far some of the most chilling footage that you could ever see. Stephen McDaniels was a very troubled person. He was classmates with Lauren Giddings, and even though the two barely interacted, he had an obsession with her. Without her knowing, he would creep outside her window and film her. Here's some of that footage. Just seeing that makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up. This entire time, Lauren had no idea that there was someone outside her apartment, and it was the last day of school when Stephen would break into her apartment. The police were later notified and found the footage I just showed you on Stephen's computer. Stephen is currently in prison, and there's a good chance he will never be released.